As Avatar 2: The Way of Water gets set for its second weekend at the box office, the conversation and some of the backlash surrounding this film is just another great reminder that it doesn't matter how woke you are. It doesn't matter if you want to put all this environmental propaganda in your movie. It doesn't matter if you feel guilty for being white and you want to tell a story about how colonizers did this to indigenous populations. None of it matters. The woke mob will still find something to come after you for, and that's exactly what's happening with Avatar 2. Disney disaster. Native Americans and indigenous groups call for Avatar 2 boycott. Quote, racist film. And yes, there's no secret. James Cameron's been very open about it, that part of the narrative, part of the analogy that he was trying to put out there for the first Avatar movie, that's why it reminded so many people of Dances with Wolves or Pocahontas. He wanted to show, what colonizers did to the people in North and South America. That's clearly one of the things that he wanted to put out there. But that is not enough. You're not respecting these cultures in the right way, so they're gonna come after you. This is so laughably ridiculous. James Cameron's Avatar: The Way of Water faces calls for boycotts from Native Americans and indigenous groups for alleged cultural appropriation and for promoting the white savior complex. In a tweet on Sunday, Navajo artist and co-chair of Indigenous Pride Los Angeles, Yu Begay, announced Avatar as a horrible and racist film that must be boycotted. And of course, we had our fun with our own, film critic activist who inevitably blocked us, who had one of the worst takes we've ever seen about cultural appropriation. And yes, no white people should be allowed to play these blue aliens because she's insane. But this is a little bit different story. Join natives and other indigenous groups around the world in boycotting this horrible and racist film, tweeted Begay. Our cultures were appropriated in a harmful manner to satisfy some white man's savior complex. Before we get into it, I do see the Meta PC ad right there. It's almost Christmas. If you or somebody else needs a new gaming PC, you want to use it for editing, whatever, go check out Meta PCs. I am partnered with them. Use code RKOutpost for a discount. No more blueface, she continues. The Lakota people are powerful, she added. And that was this tweet right here. This is the tweet that we just read. I don't know exactly how to pronounce some of these things in this person's bio. I see Two-Spirit and Indiqueer. Oh, there you go. Take that for what you will. But look at this that she puts out. Boycott Avatar: Way of Water. Join thousands of Native Americans and other indigenous groups whose cultures were harmfully appropriated to create James Cameron's anti-indigenous film, as well as standing up to his anti-indigenous rhetoric. I will remind everybody once again that I feel like if you watch Avatar 2 and you're not an insane person, you'll realize that the people they're trying to tell you are the bad people are the white people. That's what Avatar 2: The Way of Water does. There's really not a question about it. James Cameron's been open about that for over a decade now, about the story of Avatar. And for people to come away with this is pretty funny. Now, this is something that James Cameron said back in 2010. This is why they're coming after him. This is why he's anti-indigenous. I felt like if it was 130 years ago, back in time, watching what the Lakota Sioux might have been saying at a point where they were being pushed and they were being killed and they were being asked to displace and they were being given some form of compensation. This is a driving force for me in the writing of Avatar. And you can see there's a lot of parallels to that in the first Avatar movie. This was a driving force for me. I couldn't help but think that if they had a time window and they could see the future, they could see their kids committing suicide at the highest rates in the nation because they were hopeless, they were a dead-end society, which is happening right now, they would have fought a lot harder. Now you can see why a snippet like that would be taken and spread by a lot of people. They'd be so angry about it. He's not saying that they're bad people. He's not saying anything like that. He's just saying, man, if they could have seen the ramifications of what would have happened, maybe they would have just wanted to die there because of what it meant for them. Now, you can call that right, you can call that wrong. He's clearly coming at it from a pretty sympathetic look at these people and what happened to them. That's what he's trying to do, but it is not enough. And then, of course, you have Blueface. Characters are played by non-Indigenous person. James Cameron is guilty of favoring non-Indigenous folks to play the Na'vi, an alien race based on many Indigenous cultures he appropriated from. This is a form of a racist caricature known as Blueface, coined after his infamous film. What, the biggest movie of all time? His infamous film Avatar? Yeah, so many people had such a big problem with it that it became the biggest movie we've ever seen in history. This is laughable, and that's why so many of these people are getting roasted right now, but you can't deny there's a push out there from a lot of these woke activists to push this narrative. Dr. Johanna Brewer. James Cameron apparently made Avatar to inspire all my dead ancestors to fight harder. F right off with that savior complex, bud. And everyone, please go watch a real native movie instead of that badly appropriated blue trash. Nobody thinks that this is a native movie. It's inspired by things that happen. But you are the stupid motherfuckers who are pretending like these blue aliens are real. This is so insane. Ew, way to victim blame and not reflect your own position. Privilege. Saw original Avatar, was annoyed people celebrated the story while not reflecting on how many indigenous nations in the present are fighting to do so. Support indigenous storytellers, not white saviors. This is what you get when you decide that you want to be an activist, when you decide you wanted to be woke, when you decide you want to put all this agenda and message into your movies. It will never be enough. It will never be enough. We see it time and time again. And now you got all these calls to boycott Avatar from these people who they don't think that a white man should be telling any stories that have anything to do, that's even inspired potentially by an indigenous group of people. How ridiculous. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my PO box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.